We're here today with the most underrated Pro Controller.
Oh, that's a headline.
Oh.
Is that the title of the video?
Yes.
It says it below as well. Hello, everybody. We're back again.
We are indeed.
I've smuggled my way back onto the channel.
He's slowly creeping in to talk about Final Fantasy every day he can.
Have I talked about Final Fantasy today?
Well, you will be on the podcast later.
Oh, okay. But with all the excitement of the MOBAPAD HD, whatever it was called.
MOBAPAD M6, HDs and S, yeah.
With the HDs in particular, with all the excitement, with our excitement of them, we've probably made about 20 videos about them by now.
About 400.
Because they're incredible.
Yes.
I thought it was about time that we pulled something out of the slightly dusty archives from about 8 months ago.
Yes.
That has almost everything that they have, but in a Pro Controller format. Yeah. And we think this is the most underrated, overlooked Pro Controller.
And I want to say, obviously, test a lot of controllers.
A lot.
But in my personal use, this is my number one.
This is your daily?
This is my daily driver.
Wow.
It really is.
Okay. Again, it's from MOBAPAD. It has pretty much everything that those awesome Joy-Cons have.
It does, yeah.
But in that Pro Controller format.
Yes.
And that means... Yes, great for Switch users, which is why we're here, but also if you're like us and have multi-platforms.
Yeah. It's just a Bluetooth controller, so you can connect this to Steam Deck or your phone or whatever you want. Amazing. It's really a good controller. So should I just
talk me through what it has?
Yes, let's go through the specs. So we've got JH16 Hall effect sensing joysticks, which are super accurate. You're not going to get any drift there. No dead zone. They're really decent sticks, and they've got like a 5 million cycle like spin or whatever on them. And also what I like is, whilst we're on the sticks, they have they're removable, but they've got the anti-friction metal rings here.
It's always a nice feature, isn't it?
And they've got the anti-friction rings around the actual like joysticks as well.
Did you test the 5 million cycles?
Yes, yeah, I sat there and I can't see from this angle whether that's going to go on or not, so we'll just leave it off for now. It's got to line up in a certain way, so
oh my gosh,
you got to. It's because I'm not looking at it like face on.
Okay, you can do it.
So they're keyed basically. So it's got a key, so you've got to line it up.
Does it come with replaceable?
No,
caps?
that is a bit of a downside, but we'll get back to that.
Okay,
we'll get back to that. So that's the joysticks, Hall effect sensing joysticks. We've got 6-axis gyro. We've got turbo on here. Macro programmable back buttons if you want to flip it, spin it around, show the back paddles just there. Oh yeah. So we've got those. That one in the middle is for like syncing as well, puts it into pairing mode. Yeah. So we've got that. We've got HD
Rumble?
Yes, it's got HD Rumble. I'm trying to think of who does it. Alps. It's got Alps linear motors, so it's got HD Rumble, which is amazing.
Yes.
That's very rarely found on most things, to be perfectly honest.
Well, third-party Pro Controllers. Yeah,
exactly. So it actually has HD Rumble, which is a huge thing. It's got NFC as well, which again is
pretty crazy.
Is pretty huge. Most people just leave it off.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, who really uses it? All my Amiibos are still sealed.
I was going to say, do you actually use your Amiibos or just look at them?
I just look at them.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. It does have NFC. NFC, I think. NFC, it does have that. It's got a 30-hour battery life. Rechargeable.
Insane.
Yes. So, USB-C charge, and 30 hours is just mental.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is mechanical switches everywhere.
Oh, it's such a beautiful thing to behold. I waxed lyrical about this with the Joy-Cons.
Yes.
Once you've felt mechanical face buttons and bumpers, you do not go back.
No, you can't.
Just don't.
It's just nothing compares anymore.
They feel gorgeous. I will say the buttons have... I'm getting really picky now. I'm going to pick it apart. They have a little bit of pre-travel that that it could be quicker.
Yeah, it is very minor, and to be fair, it could be from use. I mean, I've been using this for a long time.
Oh, I see. So is that why I've not seen it?
But a good representation would be to go watch the review from 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
Yes, and I will do a button test in there, no doubt.
Yeah.
And you'll see if I'm saying there's no travel there, and then now there is, that will be a use thing, but it might be that it was always like that.
It's criminal how overlooked this was. But at the time, I distinctly remember talking to the company MOBAPAD. MOBAPAD.
Yeah.
We were the first people I know in the UK to get them to review them.
Yeah.
and they were surprised that someone from Europe wanted to look at them.
Yes.
So I think the company was really overlooked up until this point, apart from like dusty corners of Reddit and Twitter and stuff.
Because it was aimed at the Chinese market. It was an Asian product.
Yeah.
The MOBAPAD like American site that you see now wasn't a thing.
I think that before this we had there was a Joy-Con alternative, the M8s.
It was there was M6s, M7s, and M8s. I think, and they were eventually like different region.
But it was all imported. It all came in. It was all in Chinese.
Yes. There was no English whatsoever. No.
So at the time when we were covering this, the Pro HD, it wasn't really in the market, so it probably got overlooked. The video did well, but again, not in the same way as the
the
M6
other things.
HDs are right now.
Yeah, totally.
It feels absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, I love the feel of it. Like, it's basically just a rip-off of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller shape. It's not like an Xbox layout or anything. You can see the shape itself is a Switch Pro style controller.
It's slightly compact ergonomically.
Yeah.
Like in your hands, it's slightly compact, and that's really nice. Yeah, I was concerned with the position of the back buttons.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Because they're really low and they're like sort of arced.
Yeah.
Whereas normally back paddles you find would be like up here or like more centralized, but they're quite low and they stick out as well. It's like a cheese wedge. So they're like angled.
Yeah, but interestingly, I'm used to them being more on this part of the controller here.
On the horns.
Where your hand tends to rest. But actually, your middle finger automatically goes to them.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Very clever. It's unusual, but actually super ergonomic.
Yeah.
The bumpers.
Yes.
Just...
Yeah, it's got the mechanical switches. 5 million click.
The bumpers and the triggers are beautiful.
Yeah, it's probably... I want to say one of my favourite parts, but I just love all of the mechanical switches. But the triggers by themselves really helps with certain games. So we were discussing off camera about how I was playing Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, and you've got to be really quick to parry on that game.
Yeah.
And I was using different controllers and going through, but I was always using the MOBAPAD Chitu, the MOBAPAD M6 HDs on the Switch handheld.
Yeah.
Then when I was docking it, I was trying the official Pro controller. I was trying the 8-bit Do Ultimate, this one, and then another one that had like various mix between membrane, analog, and digital, mechanical triggers, and I kept missing my parries with all the other controllers. And I was like, why is this? Like, every time I pressed the button, I was like delayed and I just could not parry, but I could if I was playing handheld with the HDs.
It's the travel, isn't it?
And that's it. With the mechanical switches, it's so fast to actuate.
Yeah.
As soon as I started using this, which has those mechanical switches, I was getting that parry like every single time. So if you want like super fast-paced like fighting games and stuff, this is it.
Fighting games, games where timing is really impeccable, like Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Like Metroid Dread.
Yeah. As well as like Bayonetta, stuff like that would help.
Moments where countering is really important.
Yeah, like countering is a big thing. Then the triggers really help.
They'll be massively for it. I'll go back to it. It does feel as beautifully premium as the M6 HDs do in your hand.
Yeah.
Really does.
Yeah.
There's one bit that lets down the feel.
Yes. Yeah, there's a few things. There are a few negatives here.
I will say, much like the M6 HDs,
not a fan of the D-pad.
Not a fan. It feels a bit crisp packety.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, let's have a
It's
refill.
a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, I get you. I do get where you're coming from. I'd say the HDs improve upon this.
Yes.
So I actually prefer the HD's D-pad. But I don't dislike this one. It rolls nicely.
It's not terrible.
The inputs are good.
Yeah, it feels responsive. It rolls nicely. If you're playing fighting games, it's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, especially with the dome.
It's just in comparison to how nice the face buttons and the bumpers feel.
I get you. It does feel a bit lower in quality, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're like, that's a little disappointing. Yeah. If all the buttons and switches felt like that, you'd go, it's fine. It feels like a great controller. But just in comparison,
it's just
the joysticks themselves with that anti-friction, feel nice as you roll them.
Yes,
but
my biggest issue is the actual joystick cap itself, which obviously, as you saw at the beginning, is replaceable. So you can remove them. The annoying thing is it didn't come with any. Well, 8 months ago it didn't.
It might do now.
Might do now. But yeah, these are my biggest problem. Really, is they're too flat and wide. and they're just a little bit skatey.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? I think I prefer more convex style, like the HD Joy-Cons. They're smaller, way more grip, and there's a bit more like, they're not as concave as these, but these are more flat than real concave, you know? And these just feel a little bit skatey for me.
Yeah, the size of them makes it feel like the travel from neutral to full is quite a long way. It feels like a lot of travel.
Yeah, you definitely have to get used to them. What I haven't tried, which I want to do, because these are interchangeable with the HDs and the M6S Joy-Cons as well. I want to take these off.
Put the nubbins on?
Yeah, put the nubs on. And then just, because I think I'd love this controller even more. And the same thing can be said with, I didn't bring them today. That's why they're not here. Again, I'm not getting these on right because you have to key them.
Yeah, they have to orientate a very specific way, and because they're on joysticks, they do spin around a bit, like as you're pushing them.
That's it. But the good thing is, they're locked in. Yeah, they're not just going to come off, and you can't just spin them off either. You have to actually like intentionally put them on and off. The D-pad is removable as well, and this is also changeable with the M6S and HD Joy-Cons.
So if you're fortunate enough to have both, which isn't unreasonable. You may want the Pro Joy-Cons and you may want this Pro controller.
Then you can swap them over,
You can swap them over. And that's kind of cool. I would imagine by now that MOBAPAD will have cottoned on to the idea that if they're going to put joystick cap replacements in with the M6 HDs, they'll do the same with this.
It would be nice to see, or even just offer them as a package. Because I like it when companies do like a set, and then you can really fine tune which you prefer.
So you have macro.
Yeah, you've got macro.
Turbo.
You've got turbo as well.
You don't have true button swap as when we first looked at this.
No, when we first looked at this 8 months ago, it didn't have true button swap. And everyone always says to me, oh, why'd you bang on about that? Because everything has button swap. It's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, so true button swap is when you assign the button to a back paddle, a macro button, right? But then it will still act like that real button, so you can short press it and it will do a short press move, or you can long press hold and it will act like that. With this 8 months ago, you could only record like a one macro input of that button.
So it's not a button swap, it's a macro recording.
It's just like a 1 second. So if you pressed it like this, so you put it into record mode and you went like that, it would only ever play it like that. It would never press and hold. So that's what I deem true button swap.
Easiest way to get your head around that, if you're unsure what you're talking about, is take a platforming game. If you press and hold the jump button, you'll jump higher. Then if you tap it, you'll jump shorter. With true button swap, then it will enable you to do both on that new button rather than just what you've programmed in.
Yeah, exactly, which is a deal breaker really, because for me, I usually, well, depending on the game, but I don't bother using macro inputs of a long macro recording. I don't do like 16 inputs and then just keep pressing that button to do it for me. I just button swap. That's my main thing. Usually L3 and R3, so those back paddles. And I still want to be able to have an actual button swap rather than just a macro record. However, there is a MOBAPAD app, and it's likely now that you can assign, I haven't tested this, but it's likely that you can assign a true button swap via the app, and it might even be that there's a firmware update for these now, because I definitely did update the firmware from the app on this. It might be that the firmware update has fixed that. I will have to get back in the comments, I'll have to test it.
The amazing thing, the fact that these were so overlooked, looking at them now 8 months on, is that the price on them is actually slashed right down, making them an incredible...
I think they're really good price.
Like incredible value. What were we saying, 36 in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK, if you import them from AliExpress, then you're looking at about 35 quid, which I think is really reasonable.
Incredible.
For 35 quid, this is a stunning controller. It's got HD rumble, actual HD rumble.
30-hour battery life.
30-hour battery life, mechanical switches, Hall effect sensing joysticks, turbo, macro, potentially button swap. It's a really, really good controller. But in America, you're looking at $55 from their website. And supposedly you can order that from anywhere and they'll ship it out to like Europe and stuff like that.
It was a comment that came through on the last video we did about the M6 HDs that their US website that now exists that didn't before.
It was never there.
It will export into Europe from there. We've not tried that, so I can't say if that works or not.
No. I've only ever seen like AliExpress, importing from China is the only option.
In fact, that's where we got these from, was via AliExpress.
Exactly.
From the company, but...
via AliExpress, exactly. So you're looking at about 35 quid here. I mean, You can find them on eBay in the UK for about 50 quid. So if you don't want to import them from China via AliExpress, you can pay more. But yeah, I think 35 quid, $55. I mean, it says on their website that it's reduced from $90.
But if that is the genuine RRP, that sounds quite high.
A little bit high, yeah.
I kind of question whether that's true or not.
I mean, everything on there is on sale.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they ever were sold at 90.
No.
That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, no, they definitely wouldn't be. But yeah, I mean, personally, I love this controller. I use it most of the time that I'm not testing other controllers.
It's the biggest testament to it is that is your daily driver.
Yeah, exactly. And it was confirmed by the HDs, you know, the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, M6 HDs.
It was just like, this is exactly the same, but a Pro Controller version.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
So if you loved the look of the M6 HDs, which we've been banging on about for weeks now.
Yeah, because they're the best.
But you wanted a Pro Controller version, then look at this.
This is the one. Yeah.
This is what you need to go for.
They do another controller as well that I also reviewed.
Yeah.
This is better.
Give it its full name.
Oh, what, this one? The MOBAPAD Chitu HD.
Weirdly, it says on the back, model number Pro HD.
Yeah,
so
it's the Pro HD, Chitu HD.
Yeah, okay.
It's the Chitu HD. That's what it is. Is it?
Beautiful. It's really nice to bring this back to some attention.
Yeah, definitely.
It genuinely is amazing.
Well, after I think all the attention of the Joy-Cons, people started commenting on this, going, so like 8 months later, how are you finding it?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't worry.
Let's do it then.
Don't worry, we'll do a video. So here we go. There we go.
Tell them what to do now. It's the end.
Oh, well, you've made it to the end. Thank you very much.
Deep
what you
end.
can do is you can check out our merch down below. Oh, yes, which you can get one of these lovely cups if you want.
So professional.
Oh, yes. And also, whilst you're down there, you'll see that there's memberships.
Ah, yes.
And with those memberships, what do you get, AJ?
You get access to our Discord, which is an amazing place, but it's actually a really fun place to be. We're still figuring it all out, but come and join the fun. Yeah. You get access to these videos early as well.
Yes.
And a warm fuzzy feeling knowing that you've paid for Andy's coffee.
Oh, yeah, in this exact cup, yeah.
So watch some other videos from us, smashed between our faces. And until the next time,
bye.